Hi, welcome to my podcast, Talking Travel with Wendy. I travel the globe interviewing really cool people in small hospitality and tourism businesses. Join me each week as I discover and share something or someone new with you. You can find more at www.travelwithwendy.net. And remember, it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy. Hi, thanks so much for joining us here today for Talking Travel with Wendy. I am here with Lauren and Pam Miles, and we are at the barn at Bennett Flats in Alabama, HEFLIN, Alabama, right?
Yes, HEFLIN.
My new favorite. Thanks so much for having me here and being a guest on.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Yeah, excellent. Tell me a little bit about how this beautiful special events venue, wedding venue, began.
So the property was in the Bennett family since the 1940s, and I believe it was 2015 when my mother-in-law Pam, my father-in-law Matt, and Mim, my husband, purchased the property from the Bennetts, and with the vision that it would be a wedding venue. Okay. So the house and the barn have been here for almost 100 years, and turning them into what they are now was a process. But it took Mim's vision with the barn and Pam's vision with the house to really pull it all together. Okay. So,
and she decorated.
Yes.
All of this and renovated. And so you're going to share some videos of the before.
Oh, yes.
And we'll of course get to see
They're pretty stunning.
After. Yeah.
Differences.
Well, the property is amazing.
It is, and a lot of people don't know it's here. You know, when we give tours or even when people come locally for Christmas parties, they drive down the long gravel driveway and they're like, whoa, we didn't know this was here. And then we find that the other half say, oh yeah, we played down here when we were 4 years old with granddad and blah, blah, blah. So you either had no idea it was here or you grew up coming here to play, because it did used to be a functioning farm and a hunting preserve and probably a couple other things along the way. So people who are local to HEFLIN and have been for a long time are familiar with the property.
Okay, all right. So. And what year did it begin?
The wedding, December 2016 was our very first wedding at the barn. Okay. And I believe the house was completed in August 2017. So it's still fairly new.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Pam was saying that you guys have stayed busy nonstop.
Nonstop. So we hosted 31 weddings this year.
Get out.
That's a COVID year when we didn't really even get to have anything from March, April, and May.
Right.
I think June we slowly started opening back up with some smaller events. But 31 was pretty spectacular in a down year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and with COVID, I'm sure weddings probably were a little bit smaller than they originally had planned.
We have found that people expected maybe 200 and about 170 would show. Like they would get 200 RSVPs and 170 would show.
Okay.
But even before COVID, we had a bride in May who was expecting 350 who ended up just having to get married in their parents' backyard, but they still came to the house and got ready.
Oh, great.
So they utilized the property in that respect, but she didn't get to have her big dream wedding. So hopefully someday she gets to, relive her wedding day and have all those people there with her.
Yeah. I know this has been such a crazy year. And just for everybody, but yeah, good for you.
We have a lot of fans.
Yes, that's awesome. So. Do you find that some of the clients are coming from like Birmingham and Atlanta and Nashville, the bigger cities?
We've had a few from bigger cities. A lot of times they'll come from Wedowee or Roanoke or Anniston and Oxford.
Awesome.
We have, of course, have had some HEFLIN brides and grooms, or one was from HEFLIN and they knew about the barn and wanted to get married here. Jacksonville is actually, we get a lot of the younger couples from Jacksonville and Auburn who come to get married here.
Yeah, that's good.
Chicago and Brazil and Texas
fun.
And Tennessee. We've had quite a good variety.
Tell me a little bit about Mim.
Okay, what would you like to know specifically?
Okay, so he's your husband and he's Pam's son.
Yes. So it was really Mim's vision that kickstarted the barn and turning it into what it is now. I think, one of your questions that you sent was regarding, do we have any visions for...
That's a little bit. She is absolutely adorable. And she's new.
She is new. She's new and she's finding her voice. Eventually I think we do want to renovate below the barn because I can't remember how many square feet, but it's a lot, into a lodge type venue to kind of coincide with the barn and have something for the grooms maybe. He's got more visions. We'll just say that. I don't know. I don't want to speak
so
too
he's
soon,
a visionary
but he is.
Visions.
Yes, and he has goals and that of what he would like to see with the property. And we're building a house right over on the other side of the hill.
Oh, awesome!
Currently, and so to be this close to it and to be able to just kind of make it what he wants to make it eventually is part of what makes it really special to the family.
Yeah.
So. But about Mim, so we met on Bumble, believe it or not. Yep.
Excellent.
A success story from Bumble. He drove to Auburn where I was coaching at the time, and
what were you
for our
coaching?
first date, swimming.
Okay.
And he went to Auburn. So I was just coached at Auburn, and he went to Auburn, so he was familiar with Auburn, drove down to Auburn, and we met for the first time at my house where I was living, and we went out on a date, and that pretty much, the rest is history.
That was it.
Yes.
Have you had brides with certain themes that you didn't quite... Brides
Themes?
that have like theme weddings that...
We've had some fake snow.
Okay.
Not fun to clean up. I'm trying to think. We did have a bride who wanted the Great Gatsby theme, and it was a very popular date, and she missed out on the date, but we were actually looking forward to hosting a Great Gatsby theme. But we've had fall, we've had pumpkins everywhere.
Sure. Would you say that's your busiest time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
And
the color is just unbelievable.
October, November here is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
When the leaves are starting to turn and you can see the field.
Awesome.
April, May, June, it's green.
Yeah.
So those are popular months as well. But as far as themes, I think we've had a lot of color schemes, a lot of repeating color schemes. Like maroon is very popular here with Alabama, and then we've always had like the blush and the light blues that really bring out the colors in the spring. Yeah. But nothing crazy in terms of theme yet.
Okay. Oh, live
At
chickens.
a wedding? Huh. They're live chickens. Okay.
Okay. Giddy up. You also have Airbnbs available.
So when we don't rent, when we're not booked for a wedding weekend, the houses both here and the groom's cabin are open on Airbnb.
Okay.
So we've had people come from all over for variety of things, girls' weekends, guys' weekends. In football season, we've had it stay at the groom's cabin. Over here, we've had 16th birthday parties booked.
Okay.
Real small, church retreats, business meetings. They want to stay the night. We put tables and chairs. We can seat probably about 50 people in here.
Okay.
And they can just connect to the Wi-Fi, put their computer screen on the
excellent.
TV, and make decisions for their business, strategically. We've had all kinds of events here, because we were also booked on weekdays at both.
So I got to stay at your Airbnb in HEFLIN, and I really, really like it. I can't wait to come back and make it a girls' trip, although the couples' trip was fun.
Yes.
Hiking doesn't always bless my husband.
That was a foreclosure, actually.
Oh, really?
And I saw it pop up on Zillow, and I told Mim, I was like, this would be great for the groom's cabin.
Absolutely.
Because
location is perfect.
It's very conveniently located. It's quiet, but specifically speaking, when brides and grooms come here to tour, they see the barn, they're enamored by the view.
Right.
Then they come in the barn house and they're just like, wow,
Yeah.
Sign me up. Where, how much do I owe you?
Yeah.
And, obviously this is made for brides to get ready with their bridesmaids here. And they would always ask, is there any place for the grooms to get ready?
Yeah.
Is there any place for the grooms to get ready? So I had done enough tours that started becoming a theme, and I was like, we've got to be on the hunt for a house for the guys.
Well, and it does, even though there's definitely a feminine feel, the dark colors are warm still, and they are inviting.
Yes.
So and we love that table.
So Mim had that made for me for Christmas, and we don't have anywhere to put it, so we put it over there. It's not going to stay over there because it's too gorgeous.
I know.
I think we're going to try to put it in our new house. But we got that house. We had to bid for it. We won the bid, and we renovated it with grooms in mind. So that's why we did a lot of the concrete countertops, the black subway tile, the open shelving. It's a popular look for just about everyone who stays, but we definitely had the grooms in mind when we redid that. The two houses definitely complement one another, and they offer our brides and grooms something really unique that most wedding venues anywhere really don't have. Two houses that can be booked at however we've had people book Thursday through Sunday that are getting married on Saturday. If they're coming from further away, they want to stay an extra night.
Yeah.
Or you can just rent each house for the day of your event. So you check in the morning, you check out that night, you don't sleep in any of the beds, you're just hanging out, getting ready, getting your makeup, hair, putting your suits and ties on, getting your photographs taken, and then you check out that night after you've gotten married. So we're very flexible with what we offer, and having 2 homes for them with ample space to get ready is something, like I said, is really unique that we offer.
Would you recommend people just email you directly versus going through Airbnb or VRBO?
So for weddings, they contact me directly or through social media. Now Airbnb is, as you know, is a separate entity. Right. Very little crossover. Okay. You know, we have had some brides and grooms stay at each house that are not getting married here. Okay. If we're not booked for a wedding, we do open up both houses on those weekends for anyone to book, and it just so happens they might be getting married that weekend, but just not here. Okay. So of course we welcome them. In fact, someone's staying at the groom's cabin today who's getting married tomorrow, not at the barn at Bennett Flats. So I kind of like that we appeal to...
Well, and it opens the door to a possibility of, and they have this too.
Right. Word of mouth has been huge for our bookings.
I still think it's the best way.
Social media and word of mouth. You know, we do have subscriptions to some of those bigger, the Knot and the Wedding Wire, and those are beneficial for spreading the word about us. Sure. But as far as people who actually book their weddings, we heard about you through so-and-so, or so-and-so got married here a year ago, and we were a guest, and we just loved... and then they see our pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and they want to come and see a tour. Sure. And then they come in here, and then it's like, what do I owe you? You know, so.
Yeah. Well, and you are really strategically located. You're an hour from Birmingham, an hour and a half from Atlanta, right?
Yes.
And 2.5, 3 hours from Nashville.
Yeah, we're pretty close to Tennessee. And again, with the houses that we offer, you know, otherwise their bridal parties would be staying 20 to 25 minutes towards Oxford and paying, you know, $150 for one night for only 2 people to stay in the room. Right. You know, whereas here they can relax, unload all their stuff, and just know that they have 48 hours here to just kind of and not have to worry about driving back. Exactly. They walk. She walks over. We golf cart the bride over to the barn.
Oh, that's so awesome.
To say I do, and so.
Well, you got married here, right?
I did. Yes.
Did. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I love your website.
Thank you. My sister-in-law Madeline handles most of the look of the website.
And your website is?
barnbf.com.
Okay. Yes. And you're on Instagram and Facebook as well?
The Barn at Bennett Flats on both Facebook and Instagram.
So you talked about future plans below the barn. Can you share any of them?
I think right now it's just a dream, a vision, but you know, it's a huge space. The upstairs is done. The downstairs is just kind of storage right now. Mm-hmm. I think my husband is a big hunter. I think he envisions it somehow tying in with having hunters come in and stay and enjoy the property, especially in months that are hunting season, but not necessarily wedding season. So like January, February. Yeah. You know, it's cold. People don't want to risk it. They want to get married outside, but it's too cold, and they don't want to get married inside the barn, and that's okay. So just another way to kind of keep the property running 12 months out of the year. But that's something that I think maybe it's our 5-year goal or so. So
this is a great area for my hiking friends. And you have Cheaha and Talladega National Forest right here. And so these are absolutely perfect if you want to bring a hiking group to explore, because there are so many trails.
We've had several hiking groups come, or husband-wife, you know, duo on their anniversary weekend, and they know that there's trails nearby. So yeah, we've appealed to a variety of people wanting to come in the area.
Different kinds of travelers.
And you wouldn't think HEFLIN, you know, because it's so small, so small. But the people who live here love it, and we love sharing little bits of HEFLIN with people who come from all over.
I heard HEFLIN.
So
you know that. So what are you doing for COVID precautions?
Great question. So, you know, with Airbnb, both the houses, there are more strict precautions that we need to go through. We try to leave enough time between events so that our cleaners can come in and are properly clean. It doesn't always happen like that because we booked long before COVID hit some of these dates, but we do our best to make sure that everything, especially in the house, is wiped and cleaned and mopped and all that, all the knobs, all the light switches. And then as far as the weddings at the barn, you know, we are not under any restrictions right now, but we reached out to all of our brides for 2020 back in maybe June.
Okay.
And let them know that we highly recommended them to hire their caterers to stick around and serve the food.
Okay.
Instead of 200 people touching the same
buffet
spoon. Yes, exactly. Because buffet is 99% of how people get their food at the barn is buffet style.
Yes.
So, and most of them have adhered to that recommendation that the caterer stay and serve. We've had several brides go another step further and have different, like, high boys with hand sanitizer,
Sure.
you know, strategically placed around the barn, outside the bathrooms, and masks, even providing masks for guests who maybe forgot theirs. We do try to wipe down the golf carts between rides. We have the cleaning solution there for people when they get out of the golf cart, wipe it down, and then the next crew gets in. So we're definitely conscious of the fact that we are an event venue and we have sometimes hundreds of people in there at one time, and we need to make sure that our tables are spaced far enough apart and that there's only 6 chairs instead of 8 now. So luckily the barn is big enough that we can expand the seating. Yeah, a lot of it is outside, so we can work with that.
We accommodate for it.
Yes.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us here today on Talking Travel with Wendy. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Lauren, for having me here and for being my guest.
Thank you for having us. This has been so cool to tell you all about our property.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much for listening in today. I want to thank the lovely Miles family for introducing me to the barn at Bennett's Flat in HEFLIN, Alabama. Remember, you can help support or sponsor this channel. The links are in the description below. It's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy.